If you haven't viewed the video on the functional assessment of right balance core optimization, I would encourage you to take a look at that video. I'm going to show you what I mean when I say core disruption. So if you look at me today, first of all, I have 9 stance widths here. These stance widths, in order to get these, you'll need to see a Right Balance professional. Go to rightbalance.com and click on Find a Professional, and you'll see a bubble map that shows we have professionals all over the world now that have been certified to do your measurements. They'll do body measurements. You'll get a printout that shows you exactly how to set these up. So these are regions of the core from neck to pelvic floor that you can recruit. First thing I want you to notice as I stand here, first of all, that I've gone to a stance width for region 1, which is my pelvic floor, lower core. And notice how my hands hang exactly the same. Okay, if I go to 9, which is an upper core, that's my neck region, you'll see how my hands just rotated in, but my hands hang exactly the same. So I have 3 stance widths in each region, and I'm going to go to 5, which is right in the middle of my core. Again, you'll notice my hands hang exactly the same, and I am region 5 is right through the middle of my core, between the navel and the sternum. So I just relax. You'll notice, I'll go back to 1 so you'll see how my hands naturally rotate out a little bit. This is all about balance. But I want to show you core disruption. A couple of other measurements we look at functionally. If I bend forward, close my eyes, point my thumbs, you'll notice how my hands line up exactly. They would not do that if my shoulders and my hips weren't level. 100% of the population that we've observed has one shoulder down and generally the same hip higher. So it's frequently the right hip's up, the right shoulder down. So no matter what activity you're in, whether you're running, whatever you're doing, you're going to see that's going to create issues in balance, in gait and running. You're going to have drag on one side, whether you're swimming or not. The other thing we look at, functional assessment, is, I'm just going to stay right on one of these lines in line with the camera, so ideally you can see it on the mat. See how square I am. No matter where I go, my hips are going to be square. Now I have a horizontal plane on the front, 9 core regions. I have the same on the back side, horizontal plane, and I have 2 vertical planes, one on the front and one on the back. And I'm going to show you the disruption of those. But the back vertical plane is, if I take a step forward, whether I'm doing lunges in the gym or just walking or running, you can see how square I stay. So if I come up to here and I take a step back, you'll see how square I stay coming back. So you go to the gym, you work out. One of the things we see a lot these days in people doing push-ups. So I don't have a plank strip down, but I'm going to go down. I'm going to do 10 push-ups. I want you to see what effect that has on my core. I'm not doing any particular stance width at all. So this is what it's going to do, is disrupt the front of my core on the horizontal plane. So find a comfortable stance width, go down here, and now that's 10 push-ups. So when I stand up then, and I put this bar on my hips, I go back to any stance width. Now look where my core is. I'm rotated left. I always rotate left, but that's a disruption on the front of the core. How do I know that? Well, if I add knee flex, it stays disrupted. If it were coming off the back of the core and not the front, and I added knee flex, my hips would square up when I added knee flex. So I'll show you the back of the core and how we disrupt it. So simple push-ups. However, when I take a step forward, I'm still okay. You'll see that that's the vertical plane. That's a measurement, functional measurement of the vertical plane on the back. And when I take a step back, I'm also going to be square, because that is the vertical plane on the front of the core. So How do I disrupt vertical plane on the back of the core? Well, I can disrupt the back of the core doing sit-ups. I'm going to use a ball. Anytime my back faces, we think of this as building the abdominals, and it will. You're going to get contraction of the abdominal muscles. However, when my back is facing the floor at an angle or directly parallel, whatever, I am going to be disrupting the back of the core on the horizontal plane. So I'm just going to do a few push-ups here, sit-ups. And this, if you're doing crunches, you want to use all 9 stance widths. This is a great way to do it. Take the stress off the back, neck. You just do your crunches here. And so you're in the gym, you're doing sit-ups, you're doing crunches, whatever you're doing. Now I'm disrupting the back of the core. With this video, I'm not able to show you because the disruption is the same. Disruption is still, you look at the core optimization video, you'll see the disruption of the back. But I haven't bothered the vertical plane on the back, nor have I disrupted the vertical plane on the front. So step back, vertical plane front, step forward, vertical plane on the back. But when I just stand here relaxed, you can see the rotation. Let me give you a view of the lines on this mat. And there it is. And no matter where I go, my hips are rotated to the left. So let's say I want to do, well, let's say you're on a lat bar, not a lat bar, but a squat rack, and you're doing squats, okay? So if I'm doing squats, just standing tall, doing squats, I'd be supporting the weight. So if I'm doing squats with that pelvic rotation, you can imagine the stress I'm putting on the spine. We don't advocate squats. I mean, I've worked out 40 years in my life, full gym at home, always a gym membership when I traveled because I wanted to work out. That was before I understood core optimization and core training. So I still have rotation to the left. Now when I take a step, that standing squat, if I take a step forward, you can see the rotation now. So those squats will create rotation when I'm stepping forward. If I take a step back, nothing. So that's disrupted. I've disrupted 3 regions, 3 of the 4 regions of my core. So let's disrupt the last one. Let's say you're on that squat rack, but now you're doing toe raises. And if I just do 10 or 15 of these, you'll see the impact that has on the vertical plane on the front of the core. The squats, staying tall, vertical plane on the back, and this will disrupt the vertical plane on the front. So whatever exercise you're doing, it depends on what your stance width is, obviously, and what region. So I have rotation, pelvic rotation here. I have rotation step forward. And I'm going to use the left foot so you can see. Now I have rotation step back. So that's a very unwittingly, for you or anyone working out in a gym, that's what's happening to the core. So what should you do? You should find a right balance professional. One of these strips, I mean, if you're doing a leg press, you can use lightweight on the upper and middle core, but if you want to build the glutes, you get to the lower core and they're numbered here, and these regions will be recruited. So you can actually isolate and recruit whatever region you want to recruit while you're working out. And it is a game changer. You're going to find, if you look at me now, you'll notice that I have internal rotation of one hand. I have, let's see which shoulder, my right shoulder is down because I can feel it. So when I bend forward, so I am totally disrupted by core 4 simple exercises just took me well out of balance. So the good intentions of going to the gym and working out, and you'll satisfy yourself emotionally. If you've worked out a lot, you know what that means. You won't feel guilty for not having gone to the gym, but you could be working against your body. And these are simple measurements, a printout, and your Right Balance professional can do it for you. Check online, rightbalance.com. Click on Find a Right Balance professional. As I said, they're all over the world, and we're doing certifications 4 to 5, 6 annually. So